So once again, thanks for all of you in the NHRA family of recognizing the danger of the sport that we do and want to be able to support. Sean Nichols, base of the tower, please. Sean Nichols to check in with Wayne at the base of the tower, please.
All right, here we go. Second round of Super Pro, take 2. Craig Lucier, or excuse me, Claude Lucier, and Andrew Barcudo, Island Dragways #1 versus Team Canada's #7. 1086 to dial left side, the Camaro. In from over the border, 1004 for Andrew. Firebird right side. Well, this one's not pretty back here. Claude's in the process of getting wore out far into the racetrack. Top end, Andrew goes scooting on by, 1045 out of it, 107. Claude experiencing some problems. His reaction time showed it, and he's way off the number down there. Richie Williams and Anna LeBlanc now. LeBlanc right side, 1014. Oldsmobile Cutlass, probably a small block Chevrolet on board. Richie Williams, beautiful. Chevrolet Chevelle left side. Boy, I like that purple. Coming up alongside, not going to get the win. That's the last time you're going to be seeing that one, as Anna goes 1018 on a 1014 dial. 019 reaction time. John McClure and Bill Werthers now. Bill Werthers, he's been doing this a while. New England Dragway, Massachusetts-based dragster. That's like standard curriculum. If you have a dragster, you live in Massachusetts, or anywhere above New York State, it has to be a dance page chassis. There's something in the rule book there. John McClure doesn't care nothing about that. The S10 truck left side. 898 to dial, Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Trucks away first. Here comes the dragster up alongside. It's going to be the dragster, Bill Werthers. 764 on a 62 dial after being 020 back here. John McClure missed it a little bit here and goes 4 over the number down at the far end of the racetrack. Mike Schupp and Dennis LeBlanc. LeBlancs are bombing us here. 749 the dial. 99 Race Tech. Going to be doing the chasing. Allentown's Michael Schupp. That beautiful Chevelle out front. Going to go 964. Dragster shows up, gets the win light. 752 on a 49 dial. Pretty much identical back here, 017 to 022. Everybody's like way over now. Anthony Zaccarelli and Team Mason Dixon over there on the far side. Don't have a name in the computer yet. Chevy twice over there, right side, 969. gonna leave first. Zaccarelli's car looks like it should have a 712 on it instead of a 912. Here he comes, top end. Both drivers are 20-something back here in the win light for Team Mason-Dixon's. Chevy 2, 972 on a 69 dial. Zaccarelli was 24, only 2 thousandths behind, but 4 above the dial, so. Another pair that are a bunch over the dial. Rob Rudley and John Sanborn. You're next to New Jersey. First is Rhode Island. On the stop over there on the far side on that 1090 number. Here comes Rudley up alongside. Not going to get there. Sanborn's 1092 at 129 on a 1090 dial. Both drivers are teamed in green back here. That makes room for Steve Gregory and Mark Rodriguez. New England Dragway, both sides. Rodriguez over there, the Chevrolet Nova 858, the dial. Gregory 764 for the undercover long car, left side. Both drivers exceptional. Top end win light for the door cars, 8.60. On a 58 dial was 008. The dragster was 17, wasn't bad, but goes 2 over down there. It comes up short by 9 thou. Heather Shearer and Dave Wing. David Wing, left side 82 Camaro, 964 the dial. Be getting chased down by Heather's 2001 Ed Quay Chevrolet powered long car. Here comes the dragster with a little bit of work to do, but not much. Top end can't get there. 965, one above the dial for David Wing. And he goes sailing into round number next as Heather was 26, 3 above. Not going to get it here in round 2 of Super Pro. AJ Cowing and Steve Whitman. Another door car dragster matchup is a Camaro left side, 952. Watch this baby. Hangs him out to the 60 foot. Steve Whitman cares nothing about that wheel stand as his digger's closing in, top end, got him. 806 on an 803. Getting there by 4 thousandths of a second. Dana Beauchamp and Kerry Whitman now. Kerry, the precision dragster. Team South Mountains #1 like every year. 776 dial versus 758, and that doesn't matter. Because Dana's red light's on and she's gone. Kerry Whitman's moving on, 779 after being 002 green. She's 3 above the dial. Dana pulls her foot out of the gas, muttered words like darn and rats and, shucks. Craig Belcher, Iggy Falcone. There's another guy that's been doing this a long time. Iggy over there, right side. Got 996. I think that's stuck on there. It's been on there all day. The GTO, right side. Craig Belcher's dragster, 783 the dial. Fills up for Iggy and away they go. Neither driver's exceptional, but they're pretty much dead. Even Iggy, 997 on a 96. Was only 3 thou behind back here. But he's 4 thou out in front down there. Sooner or later, they're going to realize everybody's like 4 over. People are going to start dialing up down there in the staging lanes. And then it's going to be double breakout city up here. Robbie Boyd and James Arata, New Jersey-based Mustang, right side. Here comes the dragster. Got him. 782 on an 80 for the win. He was 031 back here. Boy, these guys wouldn't get away with this in the bottom bob class. 025 left first. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen in pro. Paul Scribani and Matt Viscone. They staged this out back there. Does it have to be door car and dragster? There's no door car on door car. Oh, we got a couple dragsters pulling in the water box here. So Viscone right, Scribani left. Couple of New York cars running for different tracks. Here comes the dragster on chase. Spitzer built rides pulling up alongside Scribani and is going to get the win. 820 on an 817. Was 014 back here. Scribani missed it just a little bit. It was 036 and one above. Comes up short, far into the racetrack. Gary Carbone, Dalton Rolls now. Carbone, Lebanon Valley, number 1. Dalton Rolls, number 5 for Team New Media, the undercover dragster over there. 704. One fast ride. Dalton was making a bunch of laps yesterday. Carbone's made a bunch of laps all year long, right here. That big number 1. He might be in a little bit of trouble. Here comes Dalton, top end, going to get the win. 705 in the 04. 017 reaction time forces Gary break out down there as he was 031 on the let go. We're going to go back to door car and dragster. This has got to be one of my favorite cars here. Jeff Shaw, 69 Roadrunner. Got the A12 hood on it. Big block for power. 1020 the dial. Taking on Shane Beck, Maple Grove dragster, the 99 Precision based 4-link car. 783 dial. Both drivers bumping in. Plymouth's in. And away they go. That Plymouth's halfway to Albany. Here comes the dragster, not going to get there. 015 reaction time for Jeff Shaw, and 23 on the 20s, good for the win. The dragster was 43 and 5 over the dial, hopefully on the drop down there. A couple more long cars roll up now. David Hebig and Ray Stanton. Couple of dragsters, 894 The S&W ride left side, taking on Ray Stanton. Dave not leaving, Stanton. 008 takes his foot out of the gas, 784 for the win. So as we get Dave cleared, a couple more here in the water box. Kevin Robb, A1 Mulch. Drags her in from Denver, Pennsylvania. 2012 Miller chassis. Taking on John Grader. Atco Dragway Thunderbird, left side, 820 dial-in. Check that thing out. As they ease in. Still easing in. Here comes Rob. Here comes, there we go. Grader away, here comes Kevin Robb. Top end, Kevin Robb, 747 on a 46. John missed a tree back here, 053, goes dead on with a 1. Comes up short. Ray Knight, Eric Larson now. It's a tough break for Eric's dad there a little bit ago. See if Eric can keep his head in the game here. 884 dial, Pontiac GTO right side. Ray Knight, 971 in the Mustang. Attention in the pits, bikes and sleds, round number 2. Brian Canoles, you have the bye. Team Mason Dixon. Brian Canoles, you have the bye run. Once again, bikes and sleds, round number 2. Bring them on back. Ray Knight picks up the win on that last one, 975 for the W. Once again, bikes and sleds, round number 2. Brian Canoles, you have the bye. Frank Canuli and Ralph Collenbach. Collenbach in from Connecticut. 758 right side. Frank Canuli's away first. Both drivers on the wrong side of the tree. Ralph's is worse. Frank's Little Mavericks coming back 11:23. 117 the speed. Benjamin Sasa and Grant Nichols. Grant Nichols Sr., that is. Right side. Marlboro, Connecticut, 2003. CNF race cars, rear engine dragster. Benjamin's got that little Chevy 2 over here left side. 1041 the dial. That is a clean looking little Chevy 2. we go. That's some Super Pro reaction time. Chevy 2 out in front. Here comes the dragster. Top end, it's going to be the dragster as he goes right on the money. 805 on the 805 with a 5. 006 reaction time. That's 11 total, and that's what the door car's reaction time was. Carl Stevenson. And John Grazzano. That thing's so fast on the far side, it lost its roof. 946 the dial. Chevy Impala. Gonna leave first. Carl Stevenson's beautiful 18 American dragster is gonna be on chase. Red light start for the convertible. That's the last time you're gonna be seeing it tonight. Carl Stevenson goes 714 at 184, 5 thou under that 715. An 043 light, so you're gonna have to pull some out of the box for next round. It's Randy Krause, James Lauro. Another nice looking door car here, James Lauro, the Grand Prix. 795. Randy Krause over there on the far side. S&W Dragster, 770. Attention to pits, final call, bikes and sleds. Once again, bikes and sleds, final call. Brian Canolas, you have the bye. Way on green. Grand Prix out in front. Here comes Randy Krause closing in top end. It's going to be Randy Krause, 772 on a 70 dial. Was 009. Back here, James Lauro wasn't bad with a 20 light, but goes one over with a 971 miles an hour in that door car. John Dabrowski and Bill Brown. Two more dragsters. So we hold them up here for just a second, clear the top end. John Dombrowski, left, Bill Brown, right. Couple of good lights, one's quite a bit better than the other, really good. Top end, that's the one that the wind light's on. Bill Brown, 810 on the 809 was 003. Back here at the starting line. Jeff Digman, nice looking Chevy 2 coming up here left side. 1005 the dial. Ontario based. Alongside Sean Forer, another Team Canada. Number 21 over there. 740 the dial. Light start by one stinking measly little thousandths of a second for the dragster. Digman didn't care anything about that as he goes dead on the money. 10:05 on the 10.05 at 123.9 the speed. I think he was looking over his shoulder down there. He must have not seen that wind light come on. Battery dropped to a dead on, as they say in the business. But it didn't matter, as his wind light was already on. Brings up Jason Amy and Dan Bell. Dan Bell left side. All the Canadians are coming up in the back. Team Canada, New York based. Chevy Nova left side, 1164 the dial. Jason Amy, 848. 89 Carpenter dragster from Walnutport, Pennsylvania. Team Mason Dixon and Amy's Garage on board. Chevy Nova out in front. Here comes Jason Amy up alongside. Gonna get the win, 8:49 on the 48. Neither driver has a reaction time to brag about in Super Pro, but Jason Amy's was better at 35 and gets the win as he's one above the dial far into the racetrack. Harry Olson heating up the tires right side. Team Canada, Mustang. And Dale Crouch. Maryland-based dragster, Cecil County. 2001 chassis, 746. And away they go. Crouch with a better light and the wind light. As he goes 3 above the dial. Attention in the pits, Sportsman class. Round number 3. My run is M151. P. Pina is the by run if there is one. Once again, Sportsman lanes 1 and 2, please. By run in lane 9, so P. Pina. Come to lane 9, you have the by run if there is one. I believe there is one. Sportsman class, round 3, lanes 1 and 2. Jen Reese, left side of Chevy 2, 1009 the dial. Jim Petricki doing the chasing and then undercover dragster right side. Jen's way out in front. Here comes the dragster, and the dragster goes right into round number 3, 787, 3 above the dial. Had a 24 bulb. Jen Reese missed it back here and was 3 above down there. Caitlin Kraus and Justin McGaw. Another nice looking Chevy 2. Man, those things are everywhere. No wonder you don't see them on the street. They're all at Lebanon Valley Dragway. Jersey base, 1020 the dial. Trying to track down Caitlin Kraus. Former junior dragster, been there, won that. Left side. Out front, top end, Chevy twice is going to get there. 10:21 on the 20. Had a nice 018 reaction time. Caitlin missed it back here and runs dead on down there. Attention in the pits, Sportsman round 3, lanes 1 and 2, please. Sportsman round number 3, lanes 1 and 2. You can start making your way to the staging lanes, please. Sportsman cars, lanes 1 and 2. Anthony Zangari and Richie Forbes. These two have done this a time or two. Zangari, the 07 Race Tech ride, 746. Richie Forbes, beautiful Camaro Roadster, 806. Red light start for Zangari. By 19th thou, the red light's on. Richie Forbes' wind light's on, and he goes 807 on the 806 after being 012 green. Zangari runs it down to 7:44, but it was all academic after that big red light start. Tom Husijan, John DiBartholomew. Johnny D staging up right side. 771 the dial. Tom Husijan, left side. Maple Grove based dragster. 2002 Mullis. 779. The 8 cars in the second separating back here. 4th out separates him on the starting line, and Tom Husijan goes sailing on in to round number 3. 781 on the 79 dial at a 23 light. Johnny D had a little bit better of a ball, but looks like made the wrong choice or is too far over the number down there far end. Comes Brad Givler, the Givler Trailer Sales Dragster. Driven by Jeff Seaman this weekend. Brad's down there in the hat standing behind the car. Claude Lucier over there. Team Canada based. This thing's been around a long time. Beautiful Daytona. Excuse me, laser. Far side. 877 the dial. Gonna leave first. That Givler Trailer Sales Dragster. Gonna be doing the chasing. Oh boy. We're gonna blame these drivers' reaction time on the sun. Top end, but one of them's got to be a winner. Jeff Seaman's going to get the win, 771 on the 68 dial. 051 and into the next round. Tom Samsel and Joey Wallace. Tom Samsel, always got a different ride. Getting some wind in his face here with this 27 Ford Roadster. 946 the dial. Joey Wallace got the dragster. Setting up shop, far side. Middletown, Rhode Island. Samsel's away first. Here comes the dragster. Top end, got him. Goes 6.90 on a 688 dial. I think that's the fastest car we got here. At least the fastest I've seen so far. We make room for Al Shaver and Mark Goyette. Sportsman, you should be in the staging lanes. Once again, third round of Sportsman. You should be in the staging lanes, lanes 1 and 2. Byron over in lane 9. Is Al Shaver's grocery getter sticking around here? 82 Malibu wagon, the grocery getter. 1018 dial. Baby. This one's probably not going to be pretty on the far end for Al Shaver, and it's not. 747, way off the number for Goyette, but he was 001 in reaction time. Shaver was 44 and 3 above, and that's not going to get it when your man's 1 thou from green on the left side. And that's going to round out Super Pro. I'm going to hand the mic back over to Steve.
Thank you, Ray. Terrific job.
Thank you very
the
much.
passion for the sport and your knowledge of being a competitor, as well as being able to choose a lot of words that have a lot of meaning, particularly to the people listening today. So superbly done.
Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate it. You got the two-wheelers coming up now.
Two-wheelers indeed. Camp Gazelle. Kyle Gockley. A couple of 8-second rockets. 8:67, the quicker of the two. Matt having that extended part of his chassis. It's like an arm with the drive wheel in the back. The purpose here is to shift the weight, keep that front wheel down, accelerate the leave off the starting line. That'd be the deal. Pro Eliminator 3 and 4. Pro Eliminator 3 and 4. It's B. Davidson. It's entry number 41AD. Once again, B. Davidson 41AD. Canterbury, New Jersey. If there is an odd number, you'll have the buy. Lane 9 in doing so. Ben Fish, near lane. Brian Moore. Ben's going to have the first lead. Reaction times separated by 0.06 of a second. There's 0.06 of a second. Well, it's a difference in drag racing between winning and losing. This time around, it's Brian Moore who takes the win. Back to the starting line. We've got the extended arm, if you will. Bob Carlson, long time campaigner of two-wheel drag racing. Torrington, Connecticut. Off they go. Two good reaction times. One of those deals, neither rider should lose the race, but somebody will, and that somebody is Kevin Twardowski. This time around, Bob Carlson. Moving on. Back to the starting line, we have a bunch of really rockets. Adam Sharon, Tom Peterson, Tom on the far side of the racetrack. Adam with a 9:49. We have opportunity to go the green, cut down just a little. Adam will like what he sees. He'll be riding down, look beyond the finish line, and on that jersey on the left side where Adam was will be a little blue light saying, "You did it, you did it, you did it." Donald Anderson and Mike Konopacki. 8-second bikes. Good looking, good running machines, well tuned and well ridden. Great reaction time on Donald Anderson's part in the near lane. Good job on Mike's part, but perhaps not good enough. Indeed, it is not. Back to the starting line, it's Derek Cersari and Ron Blake. Ron closest to us, our track champion with the bikes and sleds category this year, and a previous holder of that title in years prior. $5,000 separate on the reaction times. Maybe that doesn't count, but you got to do the whole equation. In this particular case, it is Derek Cersari taking the win. Lynn Major and Salvatore Gambone. Salvatore on the far lane. Lynn Major. Good deal of orange on the attire that riders have to wear as protection. We had two red lights. The one that is bigger, larger, unfortunately for Salvatore Gambone, is his. Lynn Major will return. Back on the starting line, Jonathan Tisdale in the near lane. On the far side of the racetrack is Kim Canary. Off we go, both on the green. Neither should lose, but one will. It's Jonathan Tisdale who sees the little blue light on the top of that Jersey barrier down the line. Stops the clocks with a 9:009 on the 898. William McCain. Barry Stevens. Barry the first to have an opportunity to head down the line with a 9:55 dial in, and William McCann with a challenge of 8:77, a little wait. About 3/4 of a second. Off we go. Neither rider at their best in terms of reaction times, but it's the nature of the sport. Somebody's got to win. In this case, Barry done it. And with an odd number of competitors in this category, it's all Brian Canol's opportunity to just give it your best shot with the certainty that you already won, you're already on to the next round of eliminations. But Steve Steelman Sr., one of, I think, just 2 Corvettes that are in competition this day. I think it's just 2. Attentive to things like that. Best of the 2 reactions on the near side of the racetrack. And so it goes, no guarantee yet till the deal is done. It is, and that better reaction time paid a dividend, but a 52 on a 50 sealed the deal. Stephen Baker in his Camaro, the green car in the near lane. Going to be the waiter and the chaser. 13:22 for the competition on the far side of the track. Last call for pro. Last call for pro. Lanes 3 and 4. Last call for pro. Red light start. Competitor on the far side has the scoreboard arrow saying to Stephen Baker, you got it. Super Eliminator 5 and 6 right now, please. Super Eliminator, staging lanes 5 and 6. If there is a bye, it would be Mark Goyette. Second time around. 22 TC. Once again, Mark Goyette, 22 TC, lane 9, wait for the outcome, whether you're matched up or whether you have the bye run. Lane 9 right now. Oh, that hurts. Nelson Bilot Jr. had the greater of 2 red light starts. He's done for this round and the next and the next. And Steve Steelman Jr. marches on. Austin Loban on the far side of the racetrack, almost a heads-up endeavor. He'll have to wait a little bit, but as a practicality, it's whoever leaves first on the green wins. Dean Harmon in hopes that that's him. Dean looking and saying, where is he, where is he? He's not going to see him, frankly, until after he goes across the finish line and takes the win. This Mustang stands out among a lot of Mustangs we have here, but it's early manufacturing in terms of, I'm guessing, 64, 65, something like that. Beautifully restored, and somebody who really knows how to drive it. Bobby Pepperata. Thank you, Bobby, for that challenge. And James Moore giving it a go. This time around, it's James Moore taking the win. Not as good a reaction time, but a 35 on a 35 can do a lot of damage. 82 Oldsmobile down here. Steve English at the helm. Ted Mayle on the far side of the racetrack in the wagon. I'm trying to think what vintage that wagon is. I think it's a 60. Yeah, with that squared off fin configuration. Breakout for Steve in the near lane, and that sends Ted into the next round of competition. Joe McLaughlin, good looking Camaro over there. Good looking, good running to the to the extent of an 1183. Red light carries the Camaro competitor back into the next round of eliminations. Duster and the Mustang. Duster in the near lane. Jonathan Gagnon at the wheel. Mitch Speart going to give it a go. Has a pretty good head start in the works here. 13:98 the estimated time to get to the stripe. And Jonathan Gagnon will have to be very patient for a little while. And has a great opportunity, but we won't suggest what is all likely. We'll wait and be able to tell you. It is Jonathan Gagnon this time around. Had the better reaction time. Ran a 25 on a 24. Getting back into the saddle with that car. Dan Casey. Brad Northrup. Brad is on the far side. Dan in his 1986 version of a Fox bodied Mustang. Brad's got the first cut at the tree. Off we go on the green. So too is Dan. Dan has a slight margin of advantage, but we're watching just like you. With that, it's Brad Northrup this time around. had the second best reaction time, but a 40 on the 35, better on a 60 on a 52. Kyle Gockley on the far side of the racetrack, hooked up with the Pinto right down below us, or Maverick. Thank you, Bill. Both on the green. This time around, Kyle Gockley has a hard time staying on the dial-in or above it at a 60 for 62. The logged in time is a breakout. Phyllis Pina gets the bye this time around. Little extra time trial as the evening goes along. You take a glance around. Temperatures may drop a bit, and some of the dial-ins may change as things go along. But at this stage of the game, with all of the competitors having been successful in this racing season, thus being a part of their respective teams, they'll be cognizant of all of the changes that can evolve as you go toward an evening series of rounds. Last call for Super. Last call to the lane. Super, you're not there? Let's get you there. Mike Cronister and Rick Vittorio. All I'm going to say to my colleagues up here on the second floor is, it isn't easy being an announcer here. It's an atmosphere that challenges someone. And I don't even need to look around. They know what I'm talking about. Okay. Mike Cronister and Rick Vittorio. On they go. They are double red, but the worst of it all is for Rick Vittorio. All done for this evening. David Gibbons and A.J. Mayer. Off we go. Oh! Red light. Got to challenge it. Be worried of it. Get that feel. It can be spectacular or it can be immediately devastating. Probably more the latter than the former most of the time. Bob Bates. His 74 Chevrolet Nova, catching it up with Kevin Core in the Dodge. What an array of cars. We've said that a number of times through the course of the day, but many of us who have been doing announcing have had the privilege of watching America's cars go by and by and by. Great condition, might I add, in many cases. Bob Bates has a little edge and cashes it in for the win. Kevin Core. David Harvey III. And Robert Smith. Robert's on the far side of the track. 1979 Pontiac Le Mans. What a nicely put together car. Yeah, it's got a big scoop on the hood, but has the lines, has the body, premier shape, distinctive and very one to watch here in competition. The win goes to David Harvey. Wasn't as sharp as the competition on the reaction, but was like a razor on the dial-in. 88 and a 1. 88 and a 1. John Crutchfield and Joe Silva. Joe is on the far side of the racetrack, and John here, right here in front of us. Uh-oh. John Crutchfield green on the launch. Joe Silva, ticket to ride into the next round of eliminations. Rick Seidel riding in the rental racer here. Rick, longtime racer with his dad over many, many years. Aaron Thim in his 67, the first year of Chevrolet's Camaro in production. Rick's going to wait just a little bit. Okay. Rick Seidel needs to move up. Wanted to wait for the competition, so we had a little delay. Got to be careful on that business. If you take too much time, I'm not sure, but you may turn the clock off. All right. Rick delicately is working with that deep stage that seems to be working for him in recent weeks. Yep, it's working again. He'll be advancing to the next round unless there's a miracle for Aaron along the way to the end of the race. Not available this time around. Justin Brusso, young man behind the wheel of the good-looking, good-running 2000 Chevrolet. Matching it up with Bill Wilson. Bill's from Newfield, Pennsylvania. And Justin's home is right here, says the LV on the truck. Justin kind of casually rolled in there. Now it's deep, so he's going to perhaps make an adjustment here. Let's see. Waited a little bit, having rolled in deep this time around. Better with the two reaction times is Bill Wilson's on the far side and cashes it in. Runs an 84 on the 81. Justin's day is done. Many-time champion of our Pro Eliminator category is Billy Kirpins Jr. in the Barracuda down on the line, where the man and the car are in sync. Sometimes the red light comes up, but those good lights, the young man has the feel, and he marches on this time around into the next round of eliminations. George Correa and Anthony DePietro. Anthony in the Mustang on the far side. Going to get the first go signal off the Christmas tree. And then George will try to give it a shot. BMW. I would bet, well, I've got a suspicion that the power plant may no longer be BMW, but in any event, Anthony DiPietro had his cards dealt to his satisfaction, begins with a 001 and takes the win. Back on the starting line, as the sun begins to work its way down, but the cloudless, in effect, cloudless, low-flying clouds are nowhere to be found. We've got all of the sunshine this day, and thankful for that. Dalton rolls, red light start. It's Mark Price this time around who will take the win. Couple of distinctive automobiles, the, of course, famous Road Runner, where Mopar, Chrysler, manufacturers of the Roadrunner, had to pay a fee to Disney on the Roadrunner deal. It wasn't for free. Anyhow, Jeff Doster behind the wheel of the Plymouth, Joe Baccarino on the far side has the Monte Carlo, like a large distinctive automobile, and there are a lot of them who have turned the corner into racing distinctive look. Jeff Doster sees that light flashing down on the Jersey barrier beyond the finish line. And back to the pairing. It's Josh Hicks in the near lane. Clears it up to Rob Zitterberg. Both drivers doing a good job in the reaction time department. Josh a little bit better and takes the win. Back on the starting line is Scott Samaker, Lebanon Valley competitor, and paired this time around with Craig Sanderfun. Craig's in New Jersey, and Craig is going to be coming up just about now on Scott, and let's see what happens as they come to the finish line. Answer is, it's Craig. Scott's breakout was his problem. Tanner Kusters and Denny McCloskey. Danny is awaiting, and Tanner is working toward the starting line. Whoop, we decided to back up, square it up a little bit so it's right in the middle. That's really a very aware and good maneuver to make, not right in the groove. Just do it as just done. Back it up a bit, settled it right in where the best traction is to be found. Firebird, Denny at the helm, has the win already. It's a good reaction on his part with an 013. Bikes and sleds back to lane 8, please, right now. Don Anderson, you have the bye if there is one. 82TC. That's Don Anderson. Mike LaRose Sr. That paint scheme is very unique. Mike Frenick in the Dodge Dart. Up ×2. Here they go. 200 separate them in the reaction time department. That's like maybe a third of a fender, but sometimes it isn't enough. So this time around, Mike Frenick won that round 10-13 on the 09. Attention in the pit area. Sportsman to staging lanes 1 and 2. If you had only one run today. So we want to make sure people get what is equivalent to everybody else. In addition, Pro Eliminator 3 and 4 if you only had one. Sportsman 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Trish Witt, I doubt looked up at the scoreboard, but had that happened, the race was already won before the race got halfway. DJ Pyers in the Camaro. It says it's a Nova here. I don't think that's a Nova. I'm going to deem it as a Camaro. But anyhow, Brian Davison is going to wait a little while here. Better part of the second. So, green and green. Drag race here. How competitive? Yeah. Let us see. We'll watch it, and the numbers will tell the story. The story this time around is DJ takes the win, runs a 92 on the 88, and a distinctive 44.83 advantage that time around in the reaction department. Your attention, please, those of you who have utility vehicles to drive around in and such. Lane 9 needs to be emptied right now, please. We need that. Once again, anyone who has vehicles staged in lane 9 needs to clear those vehicles out of there, and we thank you in advance for the cooperation in doing so. So who turned out the lights? The sun is down over the hill, literally, but we will roll on, seeing everything through as it is in motion. Paul Northrup and Chris Lofgren. Paul in the 92 version of the Chevrolet Camaro, the white car. I hope that door is shut all the way. It looks like it has a little space there in the body line. All right. The Supreme Council made an adjustment in terms of the cleanup runs. They are a swift-acting group, and here are the changes. Our focus remains on the task of making sure people got more than the one run. If you fall in that category and you're a sportsman, you're going to go into lane 1. Same recipe for the pro So we'll continue. Pro competitors who have not had a second run to staging lane number 2. Same deal for Super lane 3, and same deal for the bikes and sleds 4. So those are the cleanup runs. Staging lane 1 for Sportsman, 2 for Pro, 3 for Super, and 4 for bikes and sleds. Final call for clean up runs down the quarter mile. If you've only had one, you've got two coming to you. But final call, Sportsman to 1, Pro to 2, Super to 3, and Motorcycles and Sleds to 4. Last call, bikes and sleds. Last call, bikes and sleds to lane 4 for cleanup runs. We're back into round 3. Robbie Boyd and Annalise LeBlanc. And on the far side of the racetrack, and Robbie in the dragster. And there's a whole business, and everybody here knows you get into a dark background, you're looking at a different tree. Just very early. 7/1000ths the separation and reaction time, so they're side by side to the stripe. And the win goes to Robbie Boyd in the dragster. A little too quick. Breakout for Annalise was her down. Back to the starting line, Carl Stevenson, Ray Stanton, Ray on the far side of the racetrack. Ray's off. Ray looking for some repetition in what he just accomplished because the results are frequently a win light. 002 was a part of his formula. LeBlanc. 23 and 21 are the numbers, so we're side by side at the stripe. Let's count them up. 53 on the 51. Is that enough? The answer is yes. Jeff Shaw in that Plymouth 79-79 on the rear quarter panel has really had some consistent rounds and really high performance at the wheel of that car. That's a pattern that has jumped off the page with a lot of competitors doing their stuff here. Let's see if that happens this time around. Well, after I gave him all of that information, he's going to need a little miracle for his day not to end this time around. Guess what? Miracles do happen. Breakout on a 001 reaction time makes it interesting, doesn't it, Bill? John Sanborn, far side of the racetrack. 1090. Frank Cannulli has a better of the two reaction times. About 6 in the bank, about half car length, and it's good for the win. Double breakout, but closer to their dial-in was the 89 of John Sanborn. Gray Knight, beautiful Mustang. .971s. Let's go together. Tough break on the far side of the racetrack. Got there just a tad early, a tad to the tune of a 008. Sportsman 1 and 2. If there is a bye run, SM, 52 SM, D Harmon, if there is a bye run. Jeff Digman in the Nova, the venerable Nova. It's everywhere. Kevin Robb, the dragster, 746er. So this will be good. This will be fun. Almost 4 seconds waiting. Okay, some very hard thing to do. Flow 1. Red. Back on the starting line, Greg Dittbrenner and Mark Rodriguez. Okay, neither of these competitors are trained. Time slip they're about to get. The win goes to the worst of the two reaction times in that last pairing. It is the nature of the sport. You think you have it, and then you don't. You thought you didn't have it, and you do. Dale Crouch and Randy Krause. Dragsters a pair. .2 of a second separate them in their respective dial-ins. 0.2 approximately. There we go. One of them is that famous 0 before the decimal point, the 0, 0, 0 after it. But that doesn't always win when you run under 67 with an 8 on the 69. Pro 3 and 4. Pro to 3 and 4, please. If there is a bye run, it is the Petro 36 Lebanon Valley. we're just chatting here, and we've got making horsepower kind of atmosphere right now. Watch and see if the performance is a challenge in terms of the dial-ins, and it was for Matt Viscione. Just a tad. Those tads like 6,000ths just now for Matt will send Grant Nichols Sr. into the next round of competition. But it's changing times now. The weather is right. If you've got a rich combination, it'll be loving it. Steve Whitman, Jason Amy. Steve in the near dragster. Jason, red light, will send Steve to the next round of competition. Dragster has done its thing. Kerry Whitman piloting the dragster we're referencing. Andrew Bracuto. Andrew in his Pontiac Firebird. Far side. Off we go. About 200 separating in the reaction department off the starting line. This time around, again, it is the second best in reaction time, but 10 with a 0.4 on a 10 with a 0.3 is nice cover. All right, got the brakes on, or these no, not the brakes, but they are the running lights. Okay, on the back anyway. NHRA still requires a little something in night racing, so we can see where you are, full length of the track. Those were actually the brake lights, so much wrong with that. 006, and the wind light for Justin McGough. Jeff Seaman, Bill Brown, Bill in that white dragster. Bill been very consistent here so far with those reaction times. Separating them in reaction time. Right about now it's side by side, and then it's over. You're going 170 miles an hour. It all happens real fast. This time around it's Bill Brown still marching on. Doug Wenzel, Maple Grove team member. Doug Wenzel to the second floor of the tower, please. Doug Wenzel, second floor of the tower, right now, please. Jim Petrecki and Dalton Rolls, both competitors, they're on it. Both start their reaction times with double O's, so anybody's race. Both of them breaking out. We talked about the great air that we have right now. Got to get the specific. 891 feet above sea level. There it is. Beware. Mark Goyette, Richie Forbes Jr., Richie in the Roadster, and Mark in the Dragster. And 15 are the reaction numbers here. Dragster the better of the two. And guess what? Second best again. 42 on the 39. Dial-in going away. Richie Forbes Jr. advancing into the next round. And they're back. Motorcycles, and I'm not sure there are sleds in the competition at this stage of the game as we've gone through the rounds, and we're in round 3 right now, I believe. Bob Carlson, near lane. Brian Knowles from Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. Bob Carlson, a little better reaction time, but that doesn't close the deal. Got to make the run. In this particular case, it was Brian going under his dial. Bob Carlson will advance. Matt Gazelle and Derek Cersari. Suzuki and Suzuki. Good reaction times. Just about 100th separates the two. Second best reaction time had the better elapsed time. Both ran under, closer to the dial-in was Matt. Next up, Adam Sharon and Barry Stevens. Barry Stevens is on the far side of the racetrack from where we sit. 9:58, 9:54. It'll be whoever moves first. Who moves first on the green? That's where the advantage lies. They go. Adam Sharon with the better of the two reaction times, but not good enough. Again, we're at that atmosphere, 800 and some odd feet. We got breakout after breakout after breakout. Lynn Major, Jonathan Tisdale. Jonathan on the far side of the racetrack. Jonathan Tisdale, you can hear him come right off of the throttle. Had it done and won and let go of the throttle. Donald Anderson and Brian Moore. Suzuki Hayabusa. Incredible piece of machinery with the engineering and the power output of Hayabusa stuff. Good job, both sides of the racetrack. And the better of the two is Donald Anderson with a 9:00 in terms of elapsed time. Patty McDonald, Frenick. What a great looking piece. The Gremlin, no less. Yeah, the Gremlin has been fed some super stuff because it is stepping out in a significant way. 94 miles an hour at the halfway marker, 114 at the end, 11:42. Wow. Sportsman, to the staging lanes, please. Move to the front so you can be paired. Once again, Sportsman, move down to the front portion of the staging lanes so you can be paired at that point. Bob Murphy and Joe Dedrick. Joe from Bali, Pennsylvania. 68 Camaro, year 2 of the Camaro's existence. Bob Murphy, Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Off they go. Red light for Joe Dedrick. His day is done. Bob Murphy's advances into the next round. Team captain for Maple Grove. Second floor tower, please. Thank you. So we're in the process of providing that one additional time trial owed to competitors. So that was our pursuit, going category by category. Super, back to the staging lanes. Ray Stanton has the bye, if indeed there is one. Super, back to the staging lanes, please. Round 4 for the Street ET Sportsman. Here we go. Super Pro to lanes 5 and 6, please. Super Pro 5 and 6. $11LV to lane 9, please. $11LV to be lane 9. Should there be a bye run? Breakouts continue to be a factor, significant one here as the temperatures drop and the atmosphere is friendly to a little more horsepower. Next pairing down below us, Steve Steelman Jr. does a good job. Reaction time department, not great. Competitor, not great either. Steve will advance, even though not great in the reaction time and a little bit under his estimated time, but all better than the competitor he ran against. Stephen Baker at 1175. Stephen on the far part of the track here. Off we go. Green and green. A lot of green for Steve. Question is, can he make it good? The answer is not this time. Too wide a margin. Maple Grove team captain to the second floor tower, please. Maple Grove team captain back to Maple Grove team captain to the second floor of the tower, please. Second floor of the tower. Maple Grove team captain. Brad Northen will advance into the next round of competition. Phyllis Pina will look at the reaction time and say, uh-oh. Jonathan Gagnon on the far side of the racetrack in the Duster. Going to have the first chance to leave the tree. Off we go. Reaction times separate the two by 2 thousandths. So they're side by side right about now. And who will make the difference this time around? Again, it's a breakout for Jonathan Gagnon, closer to the dial-in. His competitor will move on. Dean Harmon gets a bye this time around. Damon Harmon would like to put that one in the bank there. You get all those double zeros and a little crooked number here and there. That can be awful handy, but doesn't work that way. You start fresh every time. It doesn't matter what you did the last time. It matters what you did or about to do the next time. Bikes and sleds back to the lanes, please. Bikes and sleds back to the lanes, please. Bobby Carlson, if there is an odd number, Bobby, you have the bye. We're into Pro Eliminator round 4. Bob Bates and AJ Mayer. AJ on the far side, and Bob Bates coming into the tree right now on the near side. Motorcycles to the lanes, please. Motorcycles to the lanes. Bob Bates going to try to close this gap. It is possible. Can he do it? Yes, he did. Tough break for AJ Mayer. Again, another breakout. A 50 on a 53. The air is becoming a factor. '73 OD, LV, excuse me, 73 LV motorcycles if there is the buy. We have a desperate call here looking for an 8-inch converter for a small block Chevy. If anybody can help out, you can bring that 8-inch converter up here to the tower, 2nd floor, and then we'll make a connection with Gary, who is the team captain, and provide that assistance to a competitor. So once again, searching for and hoping to have an opportunity to use or buy an 8-inch converter for small block Chevy. And if you have that and are willing to share it, sell it, whatever the case might be, come up here to the 2nd floor of the tower and we'll make the connection. Last call for Super. Last call for Super. We're back on the starting line. Trish Witt and David Harvey III. This is Pro Eliminator round 4. Significant separation here. David Harvey III. David on the back side, if you will, of the back side of the drag strip. Oh boy, what a drag race. 001, 002. Cross them out. Who's got the number on the ET side of the deal? Answer, double breakout again. The answer is Trish Witt will march on into round 5. Back to the starting line, it's Jeff Doster. Jeff in that Plymouth Road Runner. Paired up this time around with Joe Silva in his Camaro. 10th and change. 10th and change. We're going to get a long look at each other as they go for a ride here. 1/10 separation. Here they go. Both see who they are, where they are. Got some top-end skills that have to be played out here. That's for sure. Who can play them? 75 on the 68. What a drag race. Unbelievable. Bull. Joe Silva will be coming back. We're sinking rapidly. We're now down to 702 feet. That means horsepower. Sportsman to the lanes, please. Sportsman to the lanes. Still working our way through Pro Eliminator. Mike Monster has the edge in terms of the reaction time. And how about a 10-0-0 with a 1 on a 10? Whoa! Mike earned that one. Billy Kerpins Jr. and Craig Sonderfan. We're moving things along here with your help. So as you finish a round, if you have succeeded in that round, we need to have you back as soon as possible to the staging lanes. Once again, we need to, in effect, use the round-robin approach as we move forward to bring the event to a close in an efficient, safe manner. So, when you make a run, you win that pairing right back to staging lanes as soon as you are able to get there. Rick Seidel. Rick Seidel, Josh Hicks, the pairing this time around. Rick going to have a little bit of a wait. Josh, a little bit of advance. Rick seemed to move prematurely here, well before that last amber light came on. Ouch. Rick made a good run at it, but it's Josh Hicks who will carry the flag into the next round. G1, 2-1, XX for the Sportsman. Bye. Chris Lofgren, DJ Pyers. DJ on the far side of the track. Chris on the near side. One hundredth of a second differential. Reaction time. It pays off with a 004 and a 44 on a 39. Chris Lofgren will march on. And the last of our pro pairings, Mike Frenick and Anthony DePietro. Two good-looking, good-running cars. 10 seconds. Anthony first to cut. Anthony has been using deep stage very skillfully. Did that in that instance. Let's see what happens here with Mike Frenick. Mike Frenick will not be happy with Mike Frenick unless there's well, it's going to take a large miracle on the other end of the racetrack. It didn't happen. No miracle. Anthony DePietro will come around again. Into Super Eliminator Eliminations round 4. Frank Canuli is on the green. Dennis Lamont is on the green. What a drag race. 008 and another 007. Anybody's race. Wow. A 52 on the 51. Breakout for Frank Canuli. Day is done there. Dennis marches on. Off we go. Ray Knight clean on an 18. Steve Whitman chasing on an 11. Here we go. It is Steve Whitman carries the day. 2 breakouts. Wow. We're now at something like 700 feet above sea level. So it just is getting better and better. Power making time. Dragster on the far side can hardly see. You can hardly see it. This is cool. Through the tinted windows here. Grant Nichols Sr. dials it in at 8:03. Going to have a bit of a wait this time around. The better of 2.5 seconds for Grant. Pro to the lanes, please. Pro to the staging lanes. 33cc, you have the bye if there is one. Off they go. 8, a 9, zeros in front. What a drag race. Grant Nichols Sr. takes it with an 8:03 on an 8:03. This is getting downright nasty. Last call for Sportsman. Last call for Sportsman. Bill Waters in the dragster, right down before us. And here comes that Plymouth, driven skillfully by Jeff Shaw. Jeff had a little bit of the rabbit's foot with him in the last round, had earned it all himself up until that point. But you need a little in most competitive situations. A little help. A little break. Off we go. I think Bill Waters is going to be in Jeff Shaw's rear view mirror in a big way as he goes across the finish line and takes the win. Back to the starting line as we work our way through Super Eliminator. Dalton Rolls in the dragster right before us, and Richie Forbes Jr. still working that roadster. Richie Forbes Jr. is really getting comfortable in that roadster. How comfortable? Very comfortable. Takes the win, advancing into the next round. 009 the reaction time. Runs an 8:07 on an 8:07. How does that happen? All of the mechanical parts and having things that predictable. That is amazing, but we see it again and again and again as competition exists in NHRA drag racing bracket style right now in the present. Robbie Boyd, Mark Rodriguez. Mark is on the far side of the racetrack. Medora Carr. Oh yeah, Mark has a slight advantage in the reaction department, but the atmosphere is playing all kinds of games, but Not this time around. 85 on the 84. Good for the win for our next pairing. It's Jeff Digman and Justin McGough. Jeff going to wait a little while. Not very much. Great drag race. 1/1000th of a second difference. It is undefinable. But what we do know is if you break out and your opponent does not, you've got trouble. Jeff Digman doesn't, and we'll continue into the next round. Dale Crouch and Andrew Bracudo. Pro, back to the staging lanes, please. Pro, you won the last round. If you're not already there, you need to get there to the staging lanes. Dale Crouch, the dragster. Andrew Bracudo, door car. Super Eliminators, the pair. Both on the green. Good jobs, both. 1/200th better. Will it make a difference? It just did. Bill Brown, Ray Stanton. Bill in the white dragster and Ray on the far side of the track. Just about one bulb differential here. So all of this will be bang bang in a hurry. And a 003. 19 and a 003. Both in the realm of possible wins. In this particular instance, Bill Brown's day has done and Ray marches on. Now we're seeing some adjustments in terms of the sea level business. Adjustments being made, and necessarily so. You just heard them knocking on our door. It's motorcycle time. Eliminations round 4. Donald Anderson and Barry Stevens first to tee it up. Donald in the yellow machine. Barry going to get an opportunity to create some space here. 9:58 the dial in. 9 flat for Donald Anderson. Suzuki's a pair. There they go, both on the green. Donald Anderson is on a roll. On a roll. Got the reaction time better, and the elapsed time a 9:00 on a 9:00. The stuff is amazing. Matt Gazale and Jonathan Tisdale. Jonathan on the far lane with the yellow helmet, pretty distinctive that we can see clearly. What a drag race is taking place right now with these two drivers, riders, racers. 11 versus the 13. Talk about it. 91 on the 92, both breaking out, closer to it. Bob Carlson has earned this buy run, what competition awaits him, and he'll be a part of it when we return. Once again, a short while ago, we put out an SOS to help one of the ESTA team members is looking for an 8-inch converter for a small block Chevy. Anybody who has a spare unit willing to sell or let somebody use or whatever the case might be, if you bring the item and the conditions to the second floor, we can let the captain of the ESTA team know that we have that here, or you may wait and have conversation with him in regard to what the requirements will be if that 8-inch converter is provided. Last call for pro. Train is about to move out. If you want to be on the rails with the rest of the pro group, get there, please. You worked hard this far. Make it happen. Ted Mayle, Steve Steelman Jr. Next up, Super Pro. Back to the lanes, please. 1-1 LV, the buy run, if there is one. Ted Mayle, Steve Steelman Jr. Round 5 on our street. Sportsman. We've got green. We've got a 0-0-1. Still no guarantee that that will do it for you, but it just could. And it does. Ted Mayle stops the clocks, runs a 55, maybe came off that throttle a little bit, had a decided advantage right off the starting line. Motorcycles, 1491 has the buy run if there is that. Dean Harmon. Dean down below us in his Mustang. Off they go. Dean with a very good reaction time. This competition has some merit. Interesting set of circumstances. The tragedy of the breakout. Both had breakouts. The competition for Dean had the combination was closer to the dial-in for the win. Brad Northrup in his 84 Camaro left just a tad early, done for the day. So prepare in advance. When you come for the next round, have your items immediately available so you can be what we refer to as round robin. As quick as you can be ready for your next round, we want to have you there so we can accommodate you. Bob Bates and Dave Slusher Jr. One truck and one door car. Not to say the truck doesn't have doors, but I thought that was a convenient way to make the distinction. 1974 version of the Nova for Bob Bates. Bob's going to wait a little bit and see if we can track down David Slusher Jr. Here they go. Reaction times that are corresponding just within a couple of hundredths in this particular run. That arrow goes right to Dave Slusher Jr. for the win. 53 on the 51. Street 55MG if there's a buy. Street, back to the staging lanes, please. Josh Hicks away on the green. Christopher Gagne away on the green. Race is done. Double breakout. Closer to the deal is Christopher Gagne. Next up, Pro Eliminator. Eliminations into round 5 right now. Brian Davison and Joe Silva. Here it goes. 2 good reaction times. 8,000 separates them so far. How about the finish line? Who's there and got it? Answer, Brian Davison, 10:48 on that 46, and the 19, a little better than the 27 of Joe's. Mike Chronister and Craig Sondefan. Mike's night is done. Craig's is continuing by virtue of a good job on the tree and a good number on the 938 on a 38, even though it was the red light that made it possible from the very start. Super Pro, back to the lanes. We need you as soon as you can be there. Get there, please. Keep it coming. Chris Lofgren, Anthony DePietro, 2 LV cars, racers, good ones, and on any given night, perhaps very good ones. And maybe tonight is the night, but it can't be for both. It can only be for one. Which one will it be? Anthony will be the first to try to cut that tree down using that deep stage technique that served him very well. It's green and green. One is a whole lot greener. How about a 002? That's a good platform to build from. But guess what? If you break out with a 002 and your competitor has a 37 and runs on, dead on, 939, you lose. It's Chris Lofgren coming back. By run, this time around, earned by Trish Witt. Trish going to saddle up as soon as she is capable for the next round. Pro Eliminator. The end of round 5. Yoo-hoo! Yoo-hoo! Super. Back to the lanes, please. All the way down to the front of staging. Super. Come on down. We really appreciate your cooperation. The track is still warm. Everything is good. We'd like to finish this out as we know you would, but you really are holding the reins on the deal here, so please do everything you can to work within that round-robin notion. So as fast as you can get back after your last run and victory, come on back so we can finish this out as we know you want to accomplish just as we do. One more sportsman, where are you? Bikes and sleds, come on. Staging lanes, please. Advisory on the Super. This is the last call on Super. We're moving along. We can't wait to the point where the track may do up, or you're all very experienced with this stuff, so work with us. Let's work together and make it happen. Motorcycles, let's go. Help us out. Help yourself out, more importantly. Let's make it happen. Let's get to the end here, safe and efficiently. Bill Waters, dragster. How about the orange dragster? Steve Whitman, on the far side of the racetrack. Steve is going to have the first shot at the tree. $7.99 the dial in. Bill Waters is going to try to track him down and to pass him going to the finish line. I mean, that's the game plan. $7.59 for Bill Waters. Here we go. Ouch for Bill Waters. We had the worst of two red lights. Steve Whitman was red too, but 004, 4 thousandths variation in that. Brings Steve back and ends the evening for Bill Waters. Pro back to the lanes, please. Pro back to the lanes. Giddy up. 37 ID has the bye, if there is one. Dale Crouch, Grant Nichols Sr. Grant's going to take off a little early here in comparison to that 748. I've got the mic open because I'm ready, and it can be interesting here. Green and green. Grant Nichols the better of the two. Will it be enough? What about the other numbers? Answer, it was. 803 for Grant. That's like the second, maybe third time right on 803. Wow. Richie Forbes in the Roadster, and Robbie Boyd in his dragster. Richie just keeps riding from that far side of the racetrack. Seems to work. Competitors seem to be happy. Is there something to it if a lane change had to be made? Who knows? Let's go racing. Richie Forbes is really racing with a passion. Robbie Boyd breaks out, but Richie had won this thing. Ran an 808 on the 807, 005 in terms of reaction time, putting package after package together, but then again, that's what has to be done to win. Jeff Dickman and Dennis LeBlanc, they both know this, and so do most of you. Dennis LeBlanc, better of the two in the reaction department, but the atmosphere's tricky. I don't know where we are in elevation now, but the answer to the question is Dennis will continue on and Jeff will not. Missing 2 pro cars. Who are you? Hopefully you can make it here by the time we ship out. 2 pro cars we hope can make it in the next few minutes. .559 is the air density right now. This is fun. I'm not sure it is to the competitors. I would hope so, but it is a nasty set of challenges that have been brought your way as the atmosphere has changed. Very different from early in the day when we began this journey together. So there we go with a bye run. That's Ray Stanton. Decides to run that. Well, I'm not sure he stayed in the throttle all the way. I lost sight of his little light, but that's what he did anyway, so that's that. Payouts are available in the first floor office from the 3rd round out. Once again, payouts are available in the first floor office beginning with the 3rd round. Bikes and sleds, where are you? Car 54. Did anybody remember that movie, Car 54? Oh, forget all of that. It's been a long day here. Exciting day. Good day. But we're looking for just a couple of folks. Here's some come. Here they come. Semi in motorcycle sled ET. Round 5. Donald Anderson and Bob Carlson. This is going to be quite a match. And I'm suggesting that specific to the performances of both of these individuals during the course of the day. But this is the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be tight, tight, tight in a challenging circumstance. Both will have that. Both know how to manage that. 868. Bob Carlson going to have to wait a little bit as Donald Anderson Donald Anderson hits the road with an 898. Oh boy! So we've got 6 thousandths differential in the reaction department. Who's got the numbers at the other end? Answer, it is Donald Anderson. Both broke out. 97 with a 9 on the 98 saved the day for Donald. $124X Super Eliminator has the bye. And here's the other half of what will be the final round in the next little bit. Matt Seidel. There we go. Okay, we don't have any names in the blanks, but 103PX and G121XX, they're having quite an outing here. Chevrolet's a pair. Ouch, ouch, ouch here. Before the race really got underway, that old red light had a say-so. So it'll be G121XX that marches on. And so, Ted Mayo in that 1960 Chevrolet wagon. No fancy wheels, just the wagon. Walked through the staging lanes and got the air cleaner clearanced by a concentric hole in the hood. Stopping the clocks this time around, 11:49, and with the dial it was 11:53. So something better to be done there, you'd think. But who am I to suggest all of that? Come. Pro Eliminator, round 6. Trish Witt, 926 the number. David Slusher Jr., 1151. David's in the truck. and Trish in a really beautiful Camaro. First year, 67. Super, back to the staging lanes, please. Super, back to the lanes. 926, 1151. Truck will leave first. Be down a bit, about 400 feet. Reaction times are tight. Answer to the question of who will win. Double breakout again. Tough night to dial, but it's Trish Witt who will advance into the next round. $124X is the buy for Super. 124X. Chris Lofgren. Christopher Gagne on the beam this time around. Chris, his worst reaction time. It's not terrible, but he needs some magic and finds it. Runs a 43 on the 38, a 92 on the 81 for Christopher Gagne. Takes a 14 reaction time. Wow. It is the magic that Chris Lofgren was looking for. It arrived. Brian Davidson on the green. So is Craig Sonderfen. Here comes Craig in a hurry and can't make the difference. Not when there's a 46 on a 46 on that dial-in. Well done, Brian Davidson, and carry on. Cars, where are you? If you won the last round and there's still racing to be had, we need you to come on down as soon as you can. While quiet, just a reminder, if you're departing the grounds here, you have to go through the front gate. Front gate. Everything else is locked up. So once again, by the clubhouse. That's the deal. So once again, exit out the main gate. Front gate departures. S'il vous plaît. Up on two wheels. Let's do it. Final round.
Attention in the pits, Ray Stanton, here is your Christmas card. Get to the lanes.
Pro to the lanes, please. Pro to the lanes. Love that sound. Super Eliminator. Just in that burnout a moment ago, and having known Grant Nichols for a number of years, his adrenaline is pumping right now. Very strong competitor, smart guy, very talented at this work. Steve Whitman going to have just a little bit of a weight on Grant, and then they're going to be tight as they go down the quarter miles. How tight? We're just right now about to find out. A little bit of help here, find a little something at the other end of the racetrack. It's not there. Grant dialed down one from the last round, had an advantage of 2/100ths in the reaction department. Good for the win. Grant marches on here. Richie Forbes Jr. and Ray Stanton. Ray in the dragster. Richie has been amazing with a whole package. If we put on a piece of paper what his reaction times have looked like, they've all had zeros, 2 zeros in them. Certainly Ray has the capability, 2-time champion in this category of Super Eliminator here at Lebanon Valley. He can do it. Ray has a slight advantage, 4/1000ths of an advantage at the reaction time department. Ray Stanton this time around, 71 on a 69. It'll be Ray moving into the next round. Dennis LeBlanc has the bye run. Doesn't have to make it, but the practice has been to do so. I did a reading on the changing temperatures and the like. Dennis was a little early on the tree, so perhaps some adjustments made there, and I'm not sure that was an all-out run either, but these folks know, and we respect what procedures seem to be the ones that have been most useful in their competition in this very competitive sport. And the motorcycles, I think they are it. Is that correct? It is the final. Oh, what a journey for these two individuals. Donald Anderson, Matt Gazelle. 898. Donald has ridden with that for the last several rounds. No change. I'm uncertain about Matt, but it doesn't matter. What matters is right now. Donald Anderson just squeezed it too hard, one too many times. Congratulations to Matt Gazelle on taking the win in this evening's competition. Ted Mail. Joe Romeo, someone longtime competitor, Lebanon Valley Chevrolets, as I'm recalling them for a long time. Joe on the far side of the track dials in 1150. Why not heads up? This is going to be a lot of fun. Ted Meal. 1150's a pair. Here we go. Oh boy. Ted Meal is a force to be reckoned with. There's no doubt about it. Not much space, but has some. But that some didn't work. Congratulations to Joe Romeo in that particular round. What a final round that was. Heads up start, two great drivers. What an event. Congratulations to Joe Romeo on his success in that event. So we were checking in our annals of memory, and that can be dangerous with old people like Wayne and me. But Joe Romeo just had maybe the best night, the best event that he has experienced in his involvement in drag racing here at Lebanon Valley Dragway. So, what an event. So one of the two is going to be coming back to comprise one half of the final round. The contestants are Trish Witt in that really striking Camaro, the white car if you will, and Brian Davison in his 1988 Chevrolet Camaro. Brian is really on it, on it, on it. And takes the win this time around, 006, hard to climb over. Good evening for Trish. This could turn out to be, for Brian Davison, a very, very good evening. And the same could happen for Chris Lofgren. Will those two individuals will comprise the final round. Chris decides to just take the tree, no run all the way down the track, park that baby right in the staging lanes, cool her down for a few moments. Let's go. Let's tie it together. So for those winners that have had the good fortune of being one of them, we've got someone who will be taking pictures over at the honor board right now. So once again, there'll be an opportunity for photos, a record of your success on an extraordinary day of extraordinary racing. So if so, gather there, and that's awaiting you. Grant Nichols. Grant's got a bye run, ensuring his being one half of the final round that will, in just a matter of a few minutes, that business will be taken care of. Not surprised. Grant is a very bright, very technical approach to drag racing, and his whole being is soaked in racing and racing championships and the value of the sport. Who will the other be? If it becomes Ray Stanton, it will be an opportunity for Ray to try to climb back into his form when he had won a couple of championships and has not really contended for that in the last couple of years. Or will it be Dennis LeBlanc? To make for an interesting, if 808 will have essentially the approximate equal to a head-to-head race. Grant goes 803 and Dennis goes 808. Great drag race going right here. 2,000 separate in the reaction department, and when you put it all together, it is Dennis LeBlanc who advances into the final round. And so there were just two remaining final runs. When you're ready, we are. Okay, we have Super in the wings here. We appreciate Grant and Mr. LeBlanc for promptly bringing them right back around. We like that. We just need one more player in terms of our pro eliminator, and we'll have it. Oh, what a day today has been. A reminder once again that in those instances where you're going to depart the grounds this evening, you must do so through the front gate adjacent to the clubhouse, which is adjacent to the oval, right out on 20. All right, the cast has arrived. We'll give them an opportunity to buckle up and shake hands and whatever they might choose to do. That's some interesting stories here of the players in this final round, or rounds, just the two of them, for Pro and for Supa. Well, it doesn't matter. So, before we conclude here, to repeat, important information for you. If you're headed off of the property, the sole exit, is going to be out the front gate. That front gate is situated right as if you're going out on Route 20. The clubhouse will be on your right. The clubhouse is kind of nestled against the main entrance to the stock car oval. So please do heed the information just provided to you. We hope that you've enjoyed your day, and we'll be back for the other components of this very, very competitive event. First up, Super. Okay. Here we go. Pro Eliminator. Chris Lofgren. I don't have a lot of information to share about the competitor that Chris Lofgren in his Nova big block will be facing. Brian Davidson certainly has earned his way. I can't recall any instant where he just had a lucky break or this or that. Everything's been earned by both of these competitors each step of the way. For Chris Lofgren, who has raced not always on an every event schedule over the years, I do believe, now that he is more active, that this would be the highest point, the pinnacle of his success in drag racing. Chris, good man, hard worker, nice guy. So let us see how it all breaks out. Brian's going to cut it loose first on the green. Chris Lofgren will be a little disappointed in himself if this turns out the way it is leaning. Guess what? When it's on, it's on. 72.072 reaction time. Runs a 40 on a 38. What a heartbreaker for Brian Davidson. Runs a 44 with an 8 on a breakout. Ouch. It is the nature of the sport. Congratulations to Chris. Similarly, I don't have a lot of information about Dennis LeBlanc other than, again, no gimmies. He's right there, successful every step of the way. Grant Nichols is an interesting story. Has raced here for maybe 30 years now. All of his children came through the junior dragster ranks. Grant, when one of his oldest children came of age, stepped away from his little Mustang, which he won several championships here with, picked up the dragster, oriented himself for a year or two, won the championship here in the dragster that he has right here on hand tonight. So talk about people being embedded in the sport of drag racing. The whole family, the Nichols family, the sons, daughter, the support that his wife provides. Quite a story. 006007. Who's got the number? There it goes. And last run, finishing. Oh, Grant had 8:02 in the semi dial-in. He moved it to 8:03. That was the difference. Congratulations, Dennis LeBlanc. That movement of 1,000th. What a night. And so, for those of you headed out, drive safely, and we'll hope to see you soon.